Hello, fellow diamond painting addicts, and welcome back to Diamond Painting Anonymous. Today I'm here for another installment of a whip and chat on my Diana canvas by Josephine wall. So you can see here I have pulled off the next section, pulled off my release papers, and I have taken a suggestion from a subscriber and gone ahead and pulled some of the colors that I will be using in this section. Not all of them, but some of them. So I can at least get started and I can put some of them away when I'm done for ones like this one right here. That is this little ping pong paddle that there's exactly one of in this section. And once again, I have forgotten a tray. Okay, I'm back. I got a tray that has drills from another canvas still stuck in it. But I have a tray, so I can get to work. I set my timer for about 45 minutes because I think that's about how long I'm going to have to work on this. And we'll see whether or not I get interrupted because I am not home by myself today. And after today, everyone's off for the summer, so pretty much everyone except my poor husband will be home for the summer. So anyway, let's go ahead and get started. I am going to be using one of my beautiful French pens. I cannot pronounce it, and I'm going to butcher it if I try, so I will just put a link in the description below to this lovely pen place. This one I have also put in my steel tips from Drill Pen Frenzy. This one is a two-placer, and then I also have a single placer in my beautiful other pen. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. One of my issues with working on this canvas is, besides the fact that it's huge, is that because it's huge, I don't really have anywhere to put it except my dining room table, which means that it's hard to find time to work on it, even though it's been sitting here for a week. I think maybe it's just so big it gets to be overwhelming, and so I skip it in favor of doing other things that aren't quite so overwhelming. I've been working on my Summer with the Masters canvas kit. I actually bought 2 kits, and I finished one of them, which was my Muka painting. I think that's all of those that I see. I finished that one, and so now I'm starting on the Kandinsky, but I've run into a couple of issues, so I thought, well, I need to do a whip and chat anyway. I will go ahead and do some of these, get the whip and chat done, get some more done on my Diana, because I have to move it downstairs because this is a holiday weekend in the US, and so I have lots of people, well, not lots, just my family, but usually it's just me, so it feels like lots, I guess, coming over for the weekend. We have not been able to get together because of COVID, and so everyone is vaccinated, both doses, so we thought it would be a good time to get together, and we're going to celebrate birthdays. This week is my brother's birthday. well, it'll be last week by the time you see this. My brother's and my oldest birthdays are on the same week. So theirs are both this month. And then because we haven't gotten together, pretty much everyone except for my youngest has a birthday in the first 6 months of the year. So this is kind of going to be us getting together and being like, hey, happy birthday. Haven't really seen you since Christmas. And actually, we didn't get to see everybody even at Christmas because my brother was sick at Christmas. And because of all the COVID stuff, we did get together, but we didn't eat like we normally do. Everybody was still wearing masks and everything. And so this is going to be kind of our first get together since then. So that'll be nice. It'll be nice to see everyone. We're going to hopefully be out in the yard barbecuing and doing some outdoor things when everybody comes over. And then one of my favorite things to do when everybody gets together is to play games, play card games or board games or something, which is why I'm going to have to move this because we'll need the table to do that. Let's see, what am I doing here? I'm doing this little electric plug looking thing. That's what I'm doing. Also, if the lighting for me is good, it's not good for the camera. So sometimes this is challenging for me to do a whip and chat this way just because I can't always see exactly what I'm doing as much as I would like. If I was doing this where I have my filming usually set up, it would be no problem. But since I have to have it out here on the table, and again, that's one of my weird preferences. I don't have to have it out here on the table. I could try and kind of roll it up. Although I was just thinking the other day, I don't remember which way this was rolled, and since it was a double-sided, it's double-sided adhesive, I don't want to roll it the wrong way. I want to say it was rolled with the paper side out, but honestly, I don't remember. I guess I could go back and look at my videos, huh? My video would probably say. Gotta say, I'm loving this pin and this tip so far. I have unboxings of these, which, if I remember, I will stick up in the cards so you can go check them out. These pens are kind of pricey. It's $35 for one pen, but plus the cost of the tip, which is extra. But I love these pens. You get to tell them what profile you want, so how many bumps and what you kind of want it to look like, and then you get to pick the blank they use for it. So I am super duper happy with them, even though it takes a while because they come from France. That's one of the things for me. Everybody's got an Etsy shop these days, and while that's good, I wish sometimes people would just have their own website. I know it's more money and more maintenance. I get why people do Etsy, but plus I would like to find some that sometimes are just in the US because that's easier for me for shipping, because then I don't have to wait forever for it to get here or to clear customs. I mean, not that that's an issue for me, obviously, since I'm working on this Diamond Painting Deutschland, but yeah, sometimes I just wish there were things that were a little bit closer. So I've done a lot of ordering recently on Etsy and other places. I finally got these pens, which I was waiting for. I got my steel tips from Australia, which are more like replacement barrels than kind of these all-in-one tips. I like them both, but I think I prefer these just aesthetically, the way they look. So I will probably be buying more of those. But they are kind of pricey. This one tip I think is $10. So, which, you know, it's steel and it should last for a while. And when I bought it, I told myself, well, you know, I'm only going to need one, right? I only need one diamond painting pen. I've only got one hand. I can only use one at a time. Yeah, just like I told myself I would never buy a whole bunch of diamond painting pins, and now I own like 8 of them, so we all know how that goes. But anyway, I got, what else did I get on Etsy? That's what I started to tell you. I finally got my hands on some Munimade trays. Munimade, however she says it. That's the part I think that's frustrating for me with Etsy is, you know, it's their store. They can do what they want, but these places, especially diamond painting places for trays and pins and whatever else that only, you know, put items in their shop every so often, and then it's like this feeding frenzy to try and get some of them. And I don't have to participate in it. I wanted a Munimade tray. I have a friend who has one and really, really likes it, so I wanted to try it. So I got one, but by the time I got in there, and this was literally after I had watched it all day, pretty much checked every hour because it said restocks were on Wednesdays, but didn't say what time. And of course, it was the 1 hour I didn't check. So by the time I got in there 15 minutes after the hour to check, pretty much everything was sold out except for mustard color. So I went ahead and bought one just because I figure I want to see what they're like. And don't tell anyone. I might actually do some kind of a giveaway. I don't know with that or something else. But I passed 100 subscribers, which was my first goal. So I'm kind of really stoked about that. And sorry, I'm trying to look here and make sure I didn't miss any of this symbol before I put it away, which I don't even know why I'm saying that, because of course I'm going to miss one. So I went ahead and got the mustard. I probably, now that I know what time she restocks, will probably try and get another one next week, assuming she restocks again next week. Just like I kind of wanted to get my hands on some of those Bella Art de Nicole trays, but I don't think they're going to restock again, according to their website, until like next month. So I'll have forgotten about that and moved on to something else by the time it's time to get those. So that's kind of how my life goes. But eventually I'll get around to trying all of them, right? When some of the feeding frenzy dies down, if it ever does. I think that's some of my issue with some of the diamond painting companies that do that same thing. Like, I'm all for people, you know, doing new releases and getting people excited about your projects and that kind of thing. But yeah, the feeding frenzy that ensues is just not fun. I mean, maybe it's fun for them because they're watching their bank account, but yeah, for people who are continually disappointed at not getting the latest and greatest. And maybe that says more about our society than anything else, that's what we're all so focused on. Whatever the newest thing is, that's the thing we've got to have. So I got a delivery, an unexpected delivery. Well, part of it was unexpected, just because my memory is horrible. I knew they were all coming. I just forgot. So I got a delivery of 3 packages from Diamond Art Club. And each package had 2 kits in it, which is ridiculous, I know. I went on a buying frenzy because I was trying to get to a certain status so that I could do the VIP buys, which is kind of nuts because I don't really need to do that. And then I really hope you guys can't hear my stomach growling. If you can, I apologize. I'm not hungry, I promise. I don't know why it's growling so much. Okay, let's see. I'm gonna do this little hand symbol that I seem to have quite a lot of up here. And I hope my camera battery holds out, because I don't know how long I'm going to get to do this before I get interrupted anyway, but we'll see. Trying to shove these up there. My poor lighting sometimes means I don't place things where they should go. And I'm trying to be super duper careful with this one because I want it to turn out really good. This is one of the ones that I actually hope to frame and hang up for my own self, which I don't normally do. But because this one is so big, I'm going to frame it anyway, just because if I don't, I would have to seal it, because because it's round and there's going to be, wow, I placed those really badly. Let me see if I can shove those over, because this is double-sided tape. It does not want to shove as nicely as my, okay, I think that's better. My glue. Anyway, I would need to seal the whole thing because it's round, so obviously it's going to show through. So rather than sealing it, I'm going to just frame it and put it behind glass, and then I won't have to worry about it. So, man, I'm having a lot of trouble today. See, I'm doing that thing where I forget that I'm farsighted now, so I should back up instead of get closer. And I keep getting distracted by the squirrel on my back porch. Anywho, what was I talking about? Feeding frenzies. Oh, and my deliveries. So I got 6 Diamond Art Club kits, which is insane. I don't need them. I just wanted them. So I bought them. And luckily for me, my husband is very indulgent and doesn't care. As long as I'm happy, he's happy. Plus, he uses it to his own advantage. So when he wants to buy something, he can say, well, didn't you just buy? Not that that always works, of course, but he tries. So, anyway, I think that's all the hands in that area that I can see. There's 2 there. There's 1. Yeah, I have another canvas I was working on too, and there's problems with some of the drills, and so I'm kind of waiting to see whether the company is going to send me some new drills. I've contacted them and I'm going to see what they say. And if they don't, I have a place I can buy replacement drills, but I thought I would give them a chance to make it right before I just put it out there that I was having all of these issues. Because I have a YouTube channel, and that's something I've been struggling with recently. I've been contacted by companies who want me to do reviews of their items. And I considered it, but so far I have turned everybody down because I feel like even if the agreement is just that I'll do a review, I mean, the agreement is not that I have to do a positive review, it's just that I have to do a review. I feel like that's still kind of, I don't know, what's the word I'm looking for? It makes me beholden to them in some way, that I can't really say what I think. which is not true, but it just feels that way. It feels ickier, so I didn't want to do it. Is that a good reason not to do something if it makes you feel icky? I'm claiming it anyway. So, yeah, so I haven't responded. Well, I have responded. I've responded with a no thank you to the people who have asked, because I just don't want to get into that. I'd rather spend the money and be free to just say whatever the heck I want. And just be done with it at that. Yeah. So maybe someday I'll be a big fancy YouTube creator with lots and lots of subscribers, and I can say what I want no matter what, but I'm not there yet. So anyway, back to, I passed 100 subscribers, so yay me. Actually, yay you, because you guys are the ones who signed up, so thank you. I'm still not quite sure how I'm going to do a giveaway, if I want to just do something on Instagram, because that seems simpler, easier. The rules on Instagram are a little more clear than they seem to be on YouTube, although lots of people don't follow YouTube's rules. I don't know why I'm worried about it, but I will be. Anyway, so yeah, I've got some things that I could give away, but we'll see when I get my trays. And I've ordered some, not just from Muni Made, however you say it, not just from her, but from some other places as well, to try them out. So it'll probably just be something small like that, but we'll see. As a thank you to everybody that has subscribed, because I really do appreciate it. When I started this a couple of months ago, I thought, oh, I'm never going to make this goal, and here I am. Of course, it's still not going fast enough for me because I'm impatient. But honestly, I'm so appreciative of everyone who subscribes. Even if you don't comment, if you just watch, that helps me immensely. So I appreciate everybody. And I'm hoping to come up with some additional giveaways, some additional challenges for myself, and some things to kind of improve my channel. So it's kind of funny. I try really hard to use the best equipment that I can, that I have, and that I can afford. And I've been through quite a bit of equipment already. You should see my closet is littered with camera stands and lights and things, ring lights and other things that just didn't end up working the way that I wanted. So, come on, get back in there. I need to rub this tray with a dryer sheet or something because I don't want to get out of it. Okay, so let's see. Which one do I want to do now? Let's do this guy. So that's this little symbol right here. And these are all the drills I have. So maybe once I get done with a couple of, this little area, maybe I'll be done with that color. I was actually talking to someone else who was doing a different Josephine wall, and we were talking about kind of approaches. She basically did inventory at the same time as she was kitting up, just to save herself a step. I separated mine because I wanted to film them, so that made more sense for me. But just approaching a canvas this big is a little bit daunting. This is the first time I've done anything this large and this confetti heavy. So just the sheer number of colors, trying to figure out where to go and how I want to do this. And I'm still not quite sure how I want to do it. It is more helpful when I sit down to do these WIP and chats to kind of gather the colors so that I'm not constantly hunting for things and I can actually be painting while I'm chatting. But I don't know if I like doing that, because then I feel like I have all of these drills setting out and then I have to go hunt back where I got them from and put them away. And not that I'm not doing that step anyway, but it's like pull it out for me the way I did it last time. Pull it out, use it, put it right back. Now it's pull a whole bunch of these out and then I have to go hunt through, okay, of my 6 different storage containers, which one did this come out of and where does it go back, so that I can keep them in order. And someone suggested that other people have kitted them up rather than doing it in DMC order like I've done. They group colors together, so like all the blues are in one case, all the greens are in one case, etc., etc. Or they group symbols together. So like all your arrows are in one place, all your, I don't know, crosses are in another place or whatever. For me, I don't know how much sense that would make because there are so many symbols. I think I'd spend more time trying to figure out how to group them than I would just getting on with it. Grouping them by color I could see. But what I'm hoping is that, like I said, as I get done with kind of this maybe 4 or 5 little sections, that some of these colors I won't use again. I have seen somebody who, on all of their diamond paintings, not just big ones like these, but on all of their diamond paintings, they go through color by color. So like they'll pick this color and then they'll look on the entire canvas for all of this color and do all of it. And then they know they can put that color away, they're done with it. Which on a smaller canvas might make sense. I don't think I could do that. I don't want to do that even on smaller canvases. I mean, I can see why people do it that way, but that just isn't how I would want to do it. But on a canvas like this, oh boy, I think that would just make me more crazy than anything. I mean, I guess there would be some satisfaction in, okay, I'm done with this color. So then you could mark it off and be like, okay, instead of 250, now I only have 249. And given that some of these colors there isn't very many of, it probably would go kind of quick. But I feel like you'd make yourself nuts trying to find it. I mean, these symbols are so small anyway. So trying to hunt through the entire canvas, I mean, I guess if you were using a magnifying glass, but even at that just seems crazy to me. And I left my sections as big as my release papers. I don't know if I do my other Diamond Painting Deutschland one. I don't know that I will make that decision. I might make my release papers, I might cut them in half and make my sections half as big, just to make myself not quite so crazy. Maybe. Okay, I think I got all of those. So let me put this color away. I really should probably use a smaller boat than this, smaller tray, because I don't need that many. All right, so I'm gonna do this one, which is this little symbol here. This has a star on it to remind me that I have ABs in this color, but I don't think there's enough just in this little section that I'm going to worry about dragging out my ABs for this. I'm just going to put these on as straight as I can. Can being the operative word here. because like I said, I get it in a good place so that you guys have good view, and then that kind of makes some weird shadows for me. So maybe if I figure out how to, or just get over my dislike of rolling this up when I'm not working on it. I have a table to put it on downstairs where I can leave it laid out flat, which is where it'll be going this weekend while we're having our little party, but I don't like to leave it down there. It's the basement. I mean, not that there's anything wrong with our basement. I just don't personally spend a lot of time down there, and it gets to be one of those out of sight, out of mind things. So that's why I was telling my husband, I'd like to keep this for the whip-in chats. So he's like, well, just take it downstairs and then just sit down and film a whole bunch of whip-in chats all at once and get a bunch of the canvas done. Which sounds great in theory, until you realize that I have to think of things to say during a whip-in chat, because, you know, whip and chat. And also, if I film them all at once, then what am I going to be talking about? One of these came undone. How dare you? Okay. What am I going to be talking about? It'll be the same thing for every whip-in chat. I don't want to do that. I do like the idea of challenging myself to get a whole bunch of this canvas done, though. Just so I can say, ooh, look how far I've made it, because, like I said, oh, and that was that other green color. I don't know why they're sticking so much today. Okay, anyway, so all my whip-in chats I feel like would be kind of repetitive because I'd be talking about the same thing. So let's see, I'm going to do these three little bombs here because there's just 3 of them. And I really hope you can't hear my stomach. I don't know why it's going so crazy. I fed it, I promise. Okay, I think that's all of those. Yeah, I definitely need to get a smaller tray, and I need to just leave it out here so that it's out here every time I go to do the whip-in, or at least leave it with all of this stuff so that when I go to do this whip-in chat, it's ready to go. All right, let's see. Which one do I want to do next? I'm gonna do this little upbeat, up-down little symbol. And I think that's probably going to take me to the end of the whip-in chat by the time I get all of these in here. If I even get done with all of these. Today's been a weird day. I swear, my youngest is some kind of ant whisperer. Every time we have ants in our house, he's the one who finds them. So today, we had ants by our coffee maker, which is no big deal to me because I don't drink coffee. But ants are a big deal to me because I can't stand ants. And I think they're coming in through our doggy door, which is kind of depressing because we have a doggy door because we used to have 2 little doggies, 2 little long-haired dachshunds. However, over the past couple of years, we lost both of them. One got cancer and had all kinds of growths and just was not doing well. So we lost him, and then our other little one, who had gone through back surgery because at one point he had become almost paralyzed and ended up having to have some kind of spinal surgery. Made it through that, and about 1.5 years later, all of a sudden one day he's hiding outside underneath the house which I know is a bad sign. So we rushed him to the vet to find out that he had some sort of stomach blockage and he needed emergency surgery. And so our vet, who I love and is an absolute, just the best vet I've ever had, they lost him on the operating table. And neither one of these dogs were really mine. They belonged to my children. They were gifts from their grandparents before their grandparents had passed away. And the dogs were both, they were both, I think one was 14 and one was almost 14. So we had them a good long while. 12, 14, somewhere in there. Anyway, they had good little doggy lives, but so we lost the other one. And all of that, sorry, I didn't mean to bring it down. All of that to say, we still have our doggy door because at some point we anticipate getting another pet. But I think that's where the ants are coming in. So this weekend we get to figure out a way to kind of seal it off a little bit better because obviously nobody's using it except apparently the ants. So, and relatively speaking, having them, at least for me, on the coffee maker was better than having them in my kitchen cabinets, which is where they were last time they showed up. So, and these don't look like the kind of ants that you get when they're like, I don't know, my grandma called them sugar ants. Those are the kind I had in my cabinet, what she called sugar ants. These ones that we found on the coffee maker are like black little ants that you see outside. So the sugar ants are much smaller. So I don't know, I'm not into bugs. If someone is, you can enlighten me. But anyway, that's where we think they're coming in at. So not that it bothered my youngest. He just made his coffee anyway. Oh, well, if there's any ants in there, they'll get boiled by the hot water. So, yeah. On the upside, that means I can maybe finally convince my husband to get rid of his pod coffee machine and buy just a regular coffee maker, or even one of those like little coffee carafe things where you just pour it in and let it filter through. I don't even know what they call that. I don't drink coffee, so I have an electric kettle to make my hot tea, to heat up my water for my tea. But I don't like the little pod coffee maker. We have really hard water here, and I feel like it gets kind of gross. So, because it doesn't get cleaned out like it should. Because I won't do it because I don't drink coffee. So, and we have really hard water, so it gets a lot of scale in it. Like, I'll clean out the electric kettle with vinegar to get rid of the hard water deposits. What we really need is a water softener attached to our whole house, but we're in the process of maybe moving, and so that's like a big expense we don't want right now. So, yeah. Choices, choices, choices. It's always something, isn't it? Ants, hard water, diamond painting. It's always something. Trying to see if I've got any of these. Luckily, a lot of these are the same colors that I used in this section down here that I've already done. So I'm sort of familiar with it. And I'm hoping that continues as I go, that I will be able to be like, oh, I remember that symbol. It's in this container. It's this one because it's this symbol. Or, oh, I remember I thought that was a rain cloud and it's some kind of like satellite dish or something. So Yeah, I'm hoping that holds through the whole thing. Isn't that funny how you start to memorize them when you're diamond painting? I was watching somebody do a mystery diamond painting, and because it's a mystery one, of course, the canvas, the background is white, and it's just like letters and numbers. And I never really thought of paying any attention, but she's like, oh, look, and she posted a picture, and it spelled out sex, S-E-X, in 2 different places while she was filling in the other colors, which I thought was hilarious. I don't know that I paid any attention when I was doing them like that to whether or not the words spelled out, the letters spelled out anything. Oops. Make sure I actually pick up a drill would be helpful, wouldn't it? Okay, let's see. And I think I'm getting close to my timer going off here. I got about 5 minutes left. So what else can I talk about for 5 minutes? Let's see. Well, I could give you some information about me, I guess. You know, I'm married. My husband is Canadian. I have 2 kids. He has 4 kids from our previous marriages. We have 6 kids between us. Though all of his are still up in Canada, which is one of the reasons we hope to move up there sometime in the near-ish future. My kids are both in college, although my oldest is graduating this year. So after this summer, I'm hoping that we'll be hosting a graduation party. Graduation / you got a real job party, which I shouldn't say that. She has a real job. She has been working full-time while getting her college degree, and I am super duper proud of her because that is not an easy thing to do. I did that and it sucked. So hopefully this summer she will get that degree. She is going to be getting a teaching license and teaching. So good for her. So hopefully we'll be having that party soon. My youngest is in college. Still at the I don't like college, why do I have to go to school phase. Do you ever get out of that when you graduate? I was discussing with my sister one time that college in many ways is just high school on steroids these days. Everybody wants you to have a college diploma, but what do you actually learn? You learn to jump through some hoops, and maybe it's not like that in every profession, but I feel like a lot of what you learn, and she agreed, even though we're in totally different fields, or we were at the time. Yes, it gives you a base, but you still learn most of what you need to know when you get your first actual real career job, because in any field, everyone kind of has their own way of doing things, and so once you get hired, that's what they want you to learn, is how they do it. So, yeah. I tell my youngest 90% of life is just showing up and doing the work. Not that he likes that answer, but that's what I tell him. It's better than just saying because I said so, right? Which I also do sometimes. He doesn't like that answer either, but someday when they're on their own and they don't live with me, then they can make their own choices about things regarding their household. I mean, they make their choices now about things, not like I control every aspect of their life. That's not what I meant at all. Wow, that sounded really controlling and not at all what I meant. If you have kids, you know what I meant. Okay, so I think that is all of that one, at least that I can see. I'm sure I'll find one I've missed. I always do. But that does take me through pretty much to the end of this whip-in chat. So thank you so much for joining me. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you learned some things. And I will see you next time for the next whip-in chat, which will probably also be on Diana, so stay tuned for that. I probably am going to finish this off screen, so when you come back, this section will likely be done, just because now that I've got everything dragged out, I kind of want to finish it. But anyway, thanks for joining me. Before you leave, don't forget to do all the things. Give me a thumbs up if you like the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and hit that bell notification icon so that you can be informed of future uploads. See you next time, guys.